Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel, All Things Taylor, just in time for another wicked Q&A Wednesday coming your way. Before we dive right in, I want to say thank you so much to all of the new subscribers joining my channel. You guys are in for a wild and crazy ride full of exclusive content weekly. There's a lot of things that could be said for Taeler Hendrix, but dedicated is definitely at the top of that list. I do my best to always be interacting with you guys on my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my Twitter, and so much more. The Taeler Army community grows all the time. And honestly, I think you guys are like the most loyal, savage, and positive fans. You guys are so awesome. And I think that we have the best fan base in the entire wrestling community. And if you would have asked me that 5 years ago, I would have been like, you're crazy. You're nuts. Like, what? And then fast forward, here we are. And I swear, if more people felt this blessed, I think the world would be such a better place. And it's something that I never, ever want to take for granted. So thank you guys so much for joining me and supporting me with literally everything that I do. It's the best feeling. It seriously is. And that all comes from being free with your authenticity, which is something you guys know I am just all about. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I just got done working with some rescue dogs. They are coming along so well. It's so exciting to see them grow into their personalities as well as their paws. Taylor's tiny house on wheels is full of lots of love, laughter, wagging tails, kisses, and fur. All right, so I have some questions today for Q&A Wednesday from my YouTube channel and from some of my other apps on social media. So let's get right down to it, shall we? Yay! Okay. The first question I got, actually, I received this right before shooting this video. So they asked me on YouTube, with the success of SpiderMan No Way Home, do I think that now there is no longer an excuse for shortcomings in the domestic box office? Well, I don't think there's any one way to answer this question because there is so much that goes into Hollywood films, and there's a lot of different reasons for why a film could go wrong or perform not as well as projected. Timing, competition, the week before, the week of, and the week after, financing, whether or not the actors chosen were the right ones for that role. We've seen that go wrong plenty of times, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Also, marketing for the movies and so forth. So there's so much that there's really no one way to answer that question. But I do think on the flip side of that question, Spider-Man No Way Home success that we talked about in a previous video on this channel, with it being the #1 top grossing film of 2021, which is crazy because it came out literally in the 11th hours of 2021, so to speak. That does show that theaters are definitely making a comeback in what we hope are a post-pandemic era. So that is really, really exciting. Okay. Another YouTuber asked me, what is my favorite holiday? This is a really, really fun question. I'm definitely torn because I am all about Halloween, and I'm also... There's Sally Sausage, who was going to make an appearance in this video, by the way, with Slinky the Weenie, and they decided that playing with their toys was more important. This video. So if you hear them running around, the little scampering feet of my wiener dogs, that's what's up. So my favorite holiday is totally Halloween. I am like totally repping Lord of the Rings. Who else is second Breakfast Club? But I do love Christmas. Being from New England, there is nothing quite like snow on Christmas. And it's Mama Hendrix's birthday on Christmas. So Christmas is definitely a big deal to me, but I am so torn because I love Halloween. Love horror movies, love Halloween, I love villains. So I don't know, I'm very, very torn. Christmas and Halloween for sure. Christmas because it's my mom's birthday, but Halloween because it's just in my soul. All right, moving right along. Another person on my YouTube channel asked me, is cooking a meal a good thing for a first date if you are a guy? I don't see why not. I think it's really, really cute. I think it's cool. I think it shows initiative. I also think it shows you care because you're putting in a personal touch to it. And I think if you're going on a date with the right girl, they're really going, girl or guy, it really doesn't matter. I think if they appreciate that shows a lot about them. and not necessarily about you. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who appreciates that, that's a good get, in my opinion. I think that that's a very, very cool thing. And it's thinking outside of the box and it's being cute and putting a personal touch, some finesse on that. So heck yeah, why not? Another person on my YouTube channel asked me, what is my favorite form of fiction? Okay, I'm a huge reader, and as you guys know, I am now also a published author. So reading is a huge part of my life. And so I kind of like fiction that is based off of, you know, things that are nonfiction, if that makes sense. So I like a lot of crime novels and suspense and horror books and things like that that do have, you know, historical or pop culture accuracies in them. I think that that's really cool. So if you're reading a novel that's based in, you know, medieval times, having like really cool, historically somewhat accurate, or a theme based off of a historical event is really, really cool. Also, anything like from Stephen King. Anne Rice, I was so blown away and crushed and gutted when she died. Oh, man, she was such a big part of my childhood. My mom used to always go to thrift stores and find me Anne Rice books, and I just used to love them so much. So R.I.P. Anne Rice. Another person on YouTube asked me, who is my favorite Marvel character? This is really, really hard because there's so many. I love X-Men. I love the creativity and the individual powers and the unique origin stories and the story arcs in X-Men. But outside of X-Men, I would have to say it's a toss-up between Captain America and the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. As you guys know, that was one of my all-time favorite characters. I drew some inspiration from her for some of my different characters in wrestling, along with Jean Grey and obviously Poison Ivy and Madam Hydra, and some other influences like Morticia Addams and Elvira, and just so many. And so yeah, I would have killed that role, but I am so happy to see Elizabeth Olsen killing it. She was nominated. She was the first Marvel character to be nominated. I think it was an Academy Award for a Best Actress in a Limited Series. And I thought that was so cool. She's one of the first ever Marvel characters to be nominated. It was so awesome. So kudos to her. That's such a huge deal. Let me see some other characters. Oh gosh, I love Rogue so much. Yeah, we could do a whole YouTube video on just Marvel and DC. So we're gonna move on. One person I saw on comments for my no DQ match, and then they asked me personally. So I figured I would answer that for you guys. I saw it on YouTube, and then I was also asked on I think Twitter, I think it was. So it was kind of a double whammy. They asked me in my no DQ match with Mandy Leon, why did it look like it was taking longer periods of time for us to set up different spots in the match? There is a very good and logical explanation for that. And first off, I really loved working with her for that. That match was so much fun to put together and do, and that gave us so many different opportunities, but we'll hold on to that for a later question. So the reason why some of that stuff took more time to set up than it should have was because, and to this day, her and I don't know for the real reason, but we have suspicions on what those reasons were. But all of the stuff that was supposed to be set up in certain places throughout the arena were not put in those places. So certain chairs that we needed, the chain that we needed, the ladders that we needed, the table that we needed, and some other things, they were not put in the appropriate places that where earlier in the day, the whole walkthrough was gone over. And so, you know, we're in the heat of the moment, and then we're figuring out, oh, this isn't here. Oh, that's not here. Oh, this and that and the other thing aren't here. So then we're taking time to get all the things that we needed. When you see me going around, you know, kicking people out of their chairs to take their chairs and stuff, that's literally because our chairs were not where they were supposed to be. They were not hidden where they were supposed to be. Other props that we didn't even end up getting to use in the match because they just weren't there, even though they were supposed to be. So we don't know if we were being ribbed or what, but we made it work regardless. But yeah, that's the reason why some of that stuff looked like it was so long to set up each thing. But girl, we made it work. All right. Another person on YouTube asked me, what are some things I'm looking forward to in 2022? You like that alliteration there? Oh So I am looking forward to 2 book releases that I have coming up. The Hopeful Spider, which is a children's book by me. And I'm also looking forward to my first novel, which will be on Amazon. I started working on that in high school. So I'm so excited to see that come to fruition and see all the people that, you know, read it and give me feedback. I'm really excited for that. I'm also really excited to make my big return to wrestling. I am super stoked about that. April 16th, 2022. April 16th this year, I will be live in Santa Rosa, California for Lucha Patron. I am super stoked about that. It will be my first match back since January of 2020. I am so excited about that. Another person, oh, and I have more projects too, but I'm not allowed to talk about them yet, so I can't wait to like dish on all of that with you guys. That's like my expression today. Can you guys, another person on YouTube asked me, can I give you guys some details on my upcoming books? Yes, I can. So The Hopeful Spider by Taeler Hendrix, the children's book, will be my 4th children's book in my installment for, it's called A Long Book of Shorts of Sorts, The Fantastical Nonsensical Adventures of the Furred Kind, starring the Furred Herd. And what that is a collection of short stories that I have written over the years, and they each star an animal that lives in the jungle, and they're all different animals, different breeds, different ages and stuff, and they're all going on adventures of self-discovery and achieving dreams and things like that in different various ways. And so The Hopeful Spider is a continuation of that series that I will eventually put together in a volume. And The Hopeful Spider is about this spider who one day wakes up and realizes they no longer have a family and they're all alone, and goes through this journey of realizing maybe family isn't just about the one you're born into, but the ones that is about the people that you bring into your life along the way, and the family you create along the way as you grow into who you are, who you're meant to be, and the dreams you have for yourself. So that is what The Hopeful Spider is all about. It follows Nosy Rosie and the Secret Surprise, which was my 3rd book, which came out last year. And then my novel, Behind These Whispering Walls, I am so excited. I started working on that in a creative writing class in high school, and I actually found that teacher. He retired a couple of years ago, and I found him on Facebook. So I'm really, really excited. I'm going to try to find a way to gift that to him for believing in me. You know, he always supported my wrestling career, which he was one of the few teachers to ever do that, and not basically call me stupid for it. But he was also like, you know, I know you really want to be a wrestler, but don't forget about this. Like, definitely think about this, meaning writing. And it's really, really cool that I have now done both. So I really want to pay homage to him and to that with this book. Behind These Whispering Walls is a work of fiction based off of some historical events and some World War II influences and some 1970s influences. And it's about, it's a psychological thriller about a girl who moves into a house and there gets like the feeling that she's not alone. And people don't believe her. They think she's very disturbed, and a series of events start replaying that have already happened, and so forth and so on. So that's a little more of what I can say about that book without giving away too much about Behind These Whispering Walls. I think it's really, really cool, and it's going to be my novice effort as a debut novelist. Super exciting. Okay, if I were to go to AEW this year, this is from YouTube, they asked me what women would I like to wrestle with or against. Well, I have already wrestled Ruby Soho, I've already wrestled Allie, Penelope Ford, Thunder Rosa, Mercedes Martinez, Nyla Rose, Big Swole, trying to think of the rest of their roster. I think I would have really, really fun, like corrupting Anna Jay into more of like an interesting, more developed character for the Dark Order. I think that would be really, really fun. I think Tai Conti and I could do some really cool stuff with her jiu-jitsu background and my Taekwondo background. I think that would be really, really fun. Let me see here. I think there's some cool stuff I could do with Jade Cargill. Let me see here. I've already wrestled Serena Deeb. I think I would love to have a rematch with Mercedes Martinez because I wrestled her when I was super, super, uber duper ridiculously green. Like, didn't know my hand from my elbow green in the business. The roster's so big. I'm trying to think. I've never wrestled Brandy Rhodes, so that would be fun. I have wrestled Rebel. I've never wrestled Britt Baker. Yeah, there's a lot of different opportunities that could be there. Another person on YouTube, and this was also asked of me on Twitter, they asked me both as to who are some of my favorite opponents. So some of my all-time favorite opponents are Lisa Marie Varon, Mickie James, Mandy Leon, Santana Garrett, Jordan Grace, Kelly Klein. I love tagging a lot with Chelsea Green. I wish we could have done that more. It was a very underdeveloped thing because there was such a big gap in between the matches, but that would have been so much fun to do that. Oh my God, there's so many different matches I'm trying to go over here. Yeah, there's so many. This one's hard. I could do a whole video just on that because I've had so many different opponents. Yeah. Let me see. Someone asked me on YouTube, what is something that I am good at that people would not expect me to be good at? I love to bake. I love to bake and decorate desserts. So I like to bake cookie cakes, cupcakes, cake pops, different layered desserts inside, like, you know, glass containers and things like that. I'm really good at baking and event planning. So I love doing that kind of thing. All right, and last one. Okay, this is also from YouTube. You guys are really holding it down. Love that energy. Someone asked me, what are you up to this year that we might find interesting? Okay, well, you guys obviously know I host this channel on YouTube. I am returning to wrestling. My debut event will be April 16th, Santa Rosa, California for Lucha Patron, so I'm also doing that. I am a contributing writer for Fightful.com. So that's really exciting. I contribute for their website as well as their magazine. I also have my own podcast, Talks with Taeler Hendrix, on russosbrand.com. So that is something I also do weekly. I also work with rescue animals on a weekly basis. That's something that I really love and enjoy doing. I am also looking at several other projects that are in the works, and so once those become fully established, I can't wait to tell you all about them. And as you guys know, I am publishing a minimum of 2, but I'm pretty sure almost 5 books this year I'm on set for, so I am super stoked about that as well. So there is so much going on with all things Taeler. I feel so crazy blessed. Like, it's the best time I've ever had in my life. And so I just take it one day at a time and, you know, count my blessings and feel grateful and humbled that, you know, I had these dreams as a young girl at like 13 years old, and now I'm achieving them. You know, I'm working very hard to be the adult I needed as a child so I can look back, you know, subliminally at the child I was who made way for me to grow up someday and say, I got you, kid. We're going to do some epic shizit, you know, and that to me means the world. So those are some of the crazy, cool, in my opinion, things that I am working on right now. And I have so much more up my sleeve. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the most recent edition of Wicked Q&A Wednesday with yours truly, Taeler Hendrix. I look forward to hearing all of your comments below. Make sure you like this video, tell your friends to subscribe, and comment below with your questions and comments for you to potentially be featured next week. Talk soon, everybody.